What is up, guys? Talking with Tonka, episode 3 of season 2. We're on location today in, where are we at? Downingtown, Pennsylvania at Alpha Phlyte Fitness. I am glad to introduce the owners of Alpha Phlyte Fitness, John Bennett and Keith Longenecker. I got it right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for making the time. I know we had one date scheduled already, and then I had to work, life. So that was, I guess, what running a gym, you guys, life always gets in the way with some stuff, I guess, right?
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are here all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a grind every week.
Yeah.
I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, open the gym at 5, do that 5 days a week, then come back in at 7 on Saturday. And then Sunday's like the only day that I have off. So, but
you're in here hitting putting grip tape on the pull machine.
I'm here fixing the equipment right now.
Yeah. What about you, John? What's your day look like?
I go to Philly Gaines.
So that's your, we'll get into that as well. But let's get into how you guys even met.
So I opened up Philly Gaines, season 1, episode 5. So when I opened it up, I wanted to get into bodybuilding. I always kind of worked out, but I never had any direction with it.
Yeah.
So after I opened up the store, I did a show, and it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing.
No.
So I reached out to my buddy John Strauss, and I was like, do you know anyone that coaches? He referred me to Keith, and Keith was also a sales director for a company that I was ordering supplements for my store.
Oh, wow. So it was like match made in heaven because you were already.
Yeah.
it's like a small world, like a full circle thing.
Yeah. Wow. You don't have to mention the company, but how long were you at that company for?
So I was there from like 2015 till 2020.
Wow. So that's a pretty good run.
Yeah. I mean, in the supplement industry, you get about, like the lifespan of a supplement brand is like 5 years, unless you're like one of those big hitter brands that you see.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of the normal range for a brand. They from like insertion point till when they expire, they get sold or they get changed or something like that. It's about 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So it came full circle. So you met Keith. He became your coach.
Yeah.
And then your first show with Keith being your coach, how did you do?
I don't think I lost unless I got ripped off.
Yeah. So, I mean, we initially started where it was like just posing a presentation, and he was in a class that I thought, he was, and he agrees to, he was too big for. Like, he was getting feedback from judges that he was just, there was almost too much muscle in his frame to be in the class that he was in. So we started just teaching him the posing for the actual class of bodybuilding. And it was just a really good fit. And every time he got on stage, I mean, he just got better and better.
Yeah. What's your experience with all that kind of stuff?
Self-taught, really. I mean, the extent of it, my dad was, said, if you want a big chest, do flies. So I started doing dumbbell flies in my, bedroom when I was a senior in high school, and then worked up the courage to get into the gym. And it was just all nutrition and training and, self-taught stuff. I went to school for exercise science and sports nutrition, so that really helped. But a lot of it is just, ground level experience and, trial and error.
Yeah. Wow. So how long would you say you've been in the industry of bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding, my first contest was 2006.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, I graduated high school in 2005, and then, started getting into weight training, my senior year. And then when I went to college, then I kind of was like, I'm going to give this a go and see how I could do. And, got up there, by myself, self-taught, and, just went from there.
Mm-hmm.
So
where'd you go to college?
So I went to IUP and then transferred back to Westchester University because I don't know if you've ever been out to Indiana, Pennsylvania, man. There's nothing going on. It's just,
I didn't even know there was an Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think if you got a city or a town that's naming themselves after a different state, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So there was just it was like these guys either were drinking or doing other sorts of drugs, or you were just weight training. So that's like really where I just dove right into the gym. And
you never dabbled in anything else,
no,
like partying and stuff.
I always just felt very uncomfortable being in that situation.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sensation of being out of control of your body. And, obviously, like, you drink when you're in, high school, you're in college and stuff, and you have a couple of good experiences, you have bad experiences.
We all have them, I guess.
I just did not like the feeling. I didn't like the taste of it, so I just kind of didn't partake at all. And it kind of isolated me a little bit, but at the same time, it also brought me to that community of bodybuilding. So
yeah, a lot of people find bodybuilding in different ways, and that was your way.
Yeah,
so, yeah, because I found it when I was, trying to lose weight, and I was like, didn't know anything about weightlifting, and I met John, and he kind of like guided me through my journey, and I still use the same split that he taught me 6 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
But let's talk about your background with bodybuilding, I guess. So when you met Keith was when?
I opened the store in 2015, so probably like 2016.
Okay.
Maybe.
And then you did it. You just recently stopped, right? 2 years ago?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Retired?
Yeah, I owe a lot to bodybuilding, though.
Oh,
like,
we're in it.
Well, no, just like, so it teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, even though I'm not competing anymore, I kind of want to, like, live like I am.
Right. Yeah, I would
you,
say you're still very disciplined with your food.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But the things that, like, bodybuilding taught me is just, like, discipline.
Yeah.
And, like, seeing things through to the end, no matter
Right.
what, no matter how hard it gets. And, like, that kind of stuff that I, like, learned through bodybuilding and, like, especially the discipline aspect. Like, that's why I'm so protective over, like, bodybuilding.
Right.
I just owe a lot to it, so I want to stay around there.
Yeah. No, I understand for sure. And then, so Keith, like what John just said is like, staying on the program, even though, you're not competing anymore. Do you have people that you can't teach discipline to? Is that something you can teach somebody?
I think there are some people that you run into that are definitely uncoachable. You have to have that kind of harsh conversation with them. Yeah. I mean, you have to have that conversation with the person that, and I'm not saying that, they might start uncoachable, but you can train them to start taking like constructive criticism or, steering them in the right direction. But
well, I guess with bodybuilding, like constructive criticism, you have to do it because someone else is judging your body.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So it's like, if you can't do that, then you're in the wrong thing.
You can't admit to yourself that you have lacking areas.
Yeah.
You're not good in a certain area because bodybuilding's a constant evolution.
Yeah.
You're never in like a final form.
Right.
So if you can't admit that you have areas or like someone's telling you that you have areas and then you have to improve in,
right.
Like you have a hype man, then you don't have a coach.
Right.
You need someone to actually be like, yeah, John, your calves suck.
Yeah, they still suck. I said that on a podcast.
And I think a big thing too is just being realistic too. Like, there's certain people that I work with that they might have, back issues or, that hinders them from being able to do like, very crucial exercises to build your back and develop your back to be really, really like formidable on stage with bodybuilding. John has lower back issues and, that
can't deadlift.
Yeah, we have to work around it. So there's always going to be a little bit of a deficit point
right.
that you have to account for, and you have to be realistic. Like when you get on stage against a guy that has, the ability to deadlift 800 pounds, it's,
yeah.
That's
so I guess that's where your sports science degree will come in because you can kind of figure out a way to maybe 2 exercises will equal 1 kind of deal.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, designing programs and whatnot, but, there is a point where you kind of have to face facts like,
You're not going to have the biggest back in the world.
He just said that I make him a better trainer because I'm so broken.
Yeah, I mean, and
has to learn a lot of workarounds.
Yeah.
When it comes to training clients, the ones that have the most ailments are the ones that make you a better trainer.
Right.
Because you have to work around it.
So I guess where did your training stuff begin? Like where did you start training?
So going to school for exercise science, sports nutrition, actually, when I was out in IEP, I had a really, really great professor that actually let me get like on the gym floor and work with other students just on form, positioning, everything like that. And I started to really enjoy that whole process. And then when I came back to Westchester, I had a job at the YMCA, and the YMCA actually paid for my certification.
Oh wow!
To go, be a trainer because they needed more trainers. And from there, that was it. It was just,
How long did you stay there? Did they have a stipulation you had to stay there for so long?
No, it wasn't any. I mean, again, I was always around really good mentors and managers when it came to stuff like that. Like when I was working in a gym, and they put me in a good position to succeed, but they never held me down or anything like that. They let me teach boot camps there, and a lot of, again, ground level experience, was learned at the YMCA, and I think that's a problem too with guys that are in college for exercise science and sports nutrition now. They think that just because they have a degree, they can jump steps ahead. And,
Yeah.
you know, starting from the bottom and working your way up, you're going to learn way more.
Yeah, definitely.
But
because you gotta go through the grind. You're not gonna learn anything.
yeah, and you know, I mean, if you provide results for somebody when it comes to training, that one person, and I say this to a lot of people, that one person is going to refer 3 other people.
Yeah.
So you can organically grow your book of business just by producing results, you know? So rather than focusing on, say, social media or things like that and like building up your own like image, you know, if you're just producing results for other people and you're making them happy, they're going to refer, you know, plenty of people to you.
Yeah.
So you can just build it that way.
Well, it sounds like when you started, social media wasn't even really
It
a
was
thing.
not a thing.
Yeah, maybe MySpace, Facebook, beginning of Facebook, right?
MySpace was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want everyone listening to this to follow Keith Longenecker on Instagram.
And you guys can see how involved
Yeah.
my personal
Who was
page
in your
is.
top 8, Keith?
Oh man, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was probably all bodybuilders.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even remember who's in my top 8. Do you remember who's in your top 8
It's top 8.
on MySpace?
Ah, dude, I don't
I,
know.
I was more concerned about like the theme song that was
Yeah.
playing when
When
you
you-
went to
when
the
you opened it
MySpace
up.
thing. and the backdrop design. Like you would go on some of those MySpace accounts and it was like just like dollar bills, like
Yeah,
falling. And like somebody that was like broke as a joke, just with dollar bills. All
Yeah,
over it.
yeah.
It's just comical.
But
But that's what we had. So like
Yeah.
if you wanted to upload a progress picture for bodybuilding, it took you like 9 days. So like
Yeah.
you just didn't do it. Like,
yeah, it just wasn't a thing.
you just, I mean, and again, I tell a lot of these guys that are getting into bodybuilding now, like I looked at the pictures from the year before
Yeah.
of the contest and I was like, that's who I got to beat. So
Right,
like
yeah.
you trained based off of like a picture. That was it,
Wow.
you know?
So how long did you compete for?
My last show was 2013. Did it
Okay.
with my wife. So, but yeah, 2006 to 2013. And what happened really was just I got so busy getting other people ready for contests. So it's not like I ever officially stopped, but it just I was going to make a more positive impact on the sport and the industry by helping people than me just continuing to compete and
Between
doing
you
well.
and your wife, you can just see the people walking around here that compete, and you guys do a great job.
We just and I appreciate that because you know I mean we just want people to do well. We just want
Yeah.
people to succeed, and you know the integrity of Alpha Phlyte is everything. So
Yeah.
I mean just you know when people get on stage and win, you get that little element, that little bit of fire that you had when you were on stage, and I love it.
Yeah. So I know I just did your guys' 3-year anniversary party. Well, I guess it's not really a party, but you know, I was DJing, so I call it a party. But so this will be going on to your 4th year. In October will be your 4th year, right?
Mhm.
So how does it like what inspired year 1? Like when you like what was going through your guys' heads where you're like, oh, I need to find a space, I need to do this. Like what was like that made you guys do the jump? Let's start Alpha Phlyte Fitness.
Truth be told, Alpha Phlyte is a brand. It's not a gym.
Okay.
So we have a supplement line.
Right.
And that was the first thing that like started our collaboration.
Okay.
So we started the supplement brand first, and then I mean we started that with I think it was like $4,000 total investment.
It was like very minimal.
And that your first was what? Sanction?
Sanctioned. So it was I think off the top of my head like 188 units or something like that of one flavor of a pre-workout.
It was mango, I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Keith
I
used to-
remember.
Very strong mango.
Yeah, it was really. I
Keith
remember.
not only was a sales director, but he was also a formulator.
Okay,
So-
so before you go into that, how did you get into formulating?
Formulating came from obviously like what you know sports nutrition background.
Yeah.
But, before I was with that brand, I was with GNC. Actually, no, it was 2 steps ahead of that. I was with GNC, and they had these things, these ingredient encyclopedias, and you could just sit there in your downtime and just read. Like, and I probably read that from front to back, like probably 10 times, you know, just learning every single ingredient
Really?
and just doing my own research, reading clinical studies online, and you know what dose is effective, what dose is not effective, comparing labels to you know what the brands that were out there currently,
Wow.
and just dosing stuff the way it should be dosed
Mhm.
turned out to be a really effective product. But I think the industry's plagued with you know brands that they put the ingredient on the label, but they don't give you enough to actually achieve the effect. So you know, it looks really impressive, but then you don't get the sensation you're supposed to get or the
Right.
performance you're supposed to get. And
I think the industry term is pixie dust.
yeah, where people just kind of sprinkle it in. And
They do their blends.
Yeah, proprietary blends. And I mean, not saying the proprietary blends are bad if they're dosed correctly, but you can look at a proprietary blend if you know what you're looking for and just be like, there's nothing in this thing.
Yeah, it's like trash.
Yeah, there's a million ingredients, but there's like, one granule of like this and that. So it just
so just say that it's in there, I guess, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's just like a clout label. And that was the one thing that when it came to formulating, I always made sure it was like a hefty dose, like a clinical dose, something that's gonna like provide an effect. And that was it. Like when Sanction came out, we dosed it right, and it was like an absolute hit right away. Like where people just couldn't get enough of it.
I remember. Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought that up because I totally forgot that this was a spawn of that. So go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we kind of forgot about it too, which is why we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
But so we were running that with 188 units, one flavor, one product. And over the course of a few years, we've scaled up. No more investing any money. We've just scaled up to like an entire line. So I think we have like 5 or 6 products. The pre's, we have 3 pre's, 2 flavors of each pre.
Wish you would bring the green apple back. That was my favorite.
We're gonna start showing some love to the brand again, like new labels. We're gonna start hitting the content.
Okay.
Improve the website. But anyway, going back to, we had Alpha Phlyte Nutrition.
Okay. Yep.
Then I was training in Keith's basement one day. He's like, I want to talk to you about something. I said, okay.
I like to talk.
Yeah. He's like, what do you think about a gym? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, I always wanted to be a gym owner. Do you want to get involved? And then I said, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I had to go back and discuss it, but
you're like, Ben,
I was like,
say yes to everything.
Yeah. so then we were just doing that. We figured out investing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we formed the entity, and then we opened during COVID.
I remember, yeah.
So we were in the middle of COVID, Keith is like a savant with equipment. So this guy
if you can see in the back in a main shot that'll be on YouTube.
There's no gym that has this equipment.
No. I trained back with John today, and I use 3 pieces of machinery that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like this 3 plate loaded lat pull down. I've never felt my lats. My lats are screaming right now.
Screaming lats.
Yeah, they're screaming. If you can hear them, it's like an eagle. You know what I mean? But that's an incredible machine because John was showing me the 1, 2, and 3, so you can add the weights and different things, so it triggers at different points of the movement. No, you're not finding that anywhere else.
Well, that comes too when you're laying out a gym. The mindset has always been that just because it's new doesn't mean it's better.
Right.
There's pieces that I've trained on, decades ago that are still the best pieces I've ever trained on. So
the red guy out there.
Yeah,
Big Red?
mean the Big Red. I mean that's a whole. There could be a whole podcast about Big Red, but no, I mean
I'll tell you about it.
I remember we moved that thing in here.
Terrible, terrible. It nearly killed us. But again, the old stuff can be better than the new stuff. So you want to go to a gym that is handpicked and it's cohesive for your workout. And that's exactly what we tried to do with Alpha Phlyte Fitness. Was we wanted it to be so set up that when you walk in, you might be wanting to train, say shoulders or something like that, but you're like, I gotta try everything.
Yeah.
That's to me,
amusement park.
Yeah, that to me, that the definition of a good gym is that. If you go in and you're like, I'm going to stay here for at least 3 hours.
Yeah,
that's a good gym.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people choose gyms out of convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a membership here, but I come up 3-4 times a month because you have that great membership.
If we open up another room, you have to do all the camera stuff and the sound.
But obviously, I just said that because it's I train at another gym just because it's 10 minutes from my house. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's more convenient. But I feel like if you're really into fitness, you're really into bodybuilding and stuff like that, this is the gym for you. There's nothing like this in the tri-state area.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what you said, there's a lot of people that come here and this is not their primary gym because it's not in a very... We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, my phone doesn't even work. I love it.
Lack of a better term.
I love that my phone doesn't work here.
But that's why we created a membership called the Transient Membership.
Right, and what's that like? What's that?
So here's the deal. If this is not going to be your primary gym, you shouldn't have to pay primary gym membership fees.
And that's great because a lot of people make you pay the full thing.
Yeah.
So that's good that you
How many people have key tags from multiple gyms on their on their thing,
I have two right now, Alpha Phlyte Fitness and a gym in Sea Isle.
So giving people the opportunity, and like Keith says it, where it's like you love this equipment, you can't find it anywhere else, but like you live too far away. So like on weekends when you have more time, you can come up here, and it's 3 visits a month for, what are we at, $30?
$30.
$30 now. So a drop-in is $15 a day. So this would be like $10 a day.
So it's like you literally come twice. Like you do drop in twice, you're paying the membership.
You're getting the third visit for free. So it's like, I mean, we know that, you know, the world's real busy right now, and, you know, everybody's on the go, but on the weekends, people do have some downtime.
Yeah.
You know, we want to provide an experience that, you know, let's say your gym that you go to just doesn't have these pieces. You can come here and use them, and we want to give you guys the ability to use it without your bank account.
Remember on Sundays, it was me, you, Anthony, Ben, the other Bennett. I can't, his first. Corey. That's his first name, was Adam. I couldn't think of it. We used to try different gyms on Sundays, remember? We went to nights. We went to a couple of gyms, and that was like our thing. So I feel like people, when you have a bunch of fitness friends, that could be like a thing. So the transient thing makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you can come here and literally one Sunday hit back, and then you guys have more leg equipment than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, we just hit 34 pieces of leg equipment.
Yeah, so this is like, if you need to build your calves, like this is the place to be.
Well, let's not go that far. I'm still trying.
Yeah. I actually want to compliment whoever, like how you guys painted the wall going into that new room. It was concrete, and you guys painted it black, and then you painted the thing above it. That was great idea.
This will be now the third podcast I was involved with you, and this will be the third time we talk about the German painter, because
that
dude is the best.
He's amazing. And
the guy takes like a week to do a job. The first like 2 days is prep work.
He's so good.
He's a very thorough guy.
I would love to get him on the podcast, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yes, he will.
He will?
Yeah, why not?
I don't think he will.
We'll talk.
His prep work's great, and I mean, he's just got great ideas.
Yeah. And his attention to detail is amazing.
Yeah, it's like, got to be perfect.
Literally. And like if you go up to the big A, and he had like he'll repaint the whole damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that you want when you're building a brand, you're building a gym. Like, you want the place to like speak for itself, and if this is going to be something that's experiential, you want everything to look good.
And what I like is you guys are very on point with your merchandise and the decor, because it's like this brand, this Alpha Phlyte Fitness logo is on a shirt. That one's on a shirt. That slogan's on a shirt. The way you guys plan this out it's great.
Thanks.
Because like when you walk around, you're like, man, I wish that was on a shirt. They walk out, oh my God, it's on a shirt. There. I need to buy it.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot of the gym layout is Keith, right? Yeah. So like, and I remember in COVID, he would basically, I would offer like pieces here and there, but really he would just do all the pieces, find all the pieces on like, and we found on Facebook Marketplace, what we found, like there's an underground society of people that buy gym equipment.
Keith's the leader.
The amount of brokers that we've like met and created relationships.
Brokers.
Yeah. So there's guys that like they use Facebook Marketplace, but then like there's also refurb things, there's brand new brands and stuff like that. But you have so many. You
literally found a gym equipment sneaker thing, because like there's
a real thing.
Like universities, we found like they have to, no matter what, they have to.
Well, during COVID, you guys probably struck gold, because there's a lot of gyms going out of business, so that was like the time to buy equipment.
But they were also, the equipment was more expensive at the time too.
Oh, okay.
There's a demand for it, especially like plates were very equipment.
Yeah, the price
expensive.
for iron was really high.
Yeah,
because everybody was buying it for making their own home gyms.
Yeah.
So we had to do our finagling to make the whole thing work.
Me and John and Ben used to do like Zoom calls of us working out at our houses when I had like 10-pound dumbbells, 15-pound dumbbells.
I used to teach that class.
Yeah, the ab class.
Yeah,
this core class.
Well, no, I used to teach like a regular class.
Was it? I thought it was a core class.
I don't remember. It was something on.
Yeah, something along those lines.
So
you guys thought of the idea. You came up with the investment plan.
Yeah.
Why this space?
Well,
it was on Facebook Marketplace.
Nah, was it in the underground?
No, I mean, so it was just worth the checkout. Like we actually zoned in on one spot.
Two, kind of.
Yeah. So the one spot was really cool, but I think we would have outgrown that one. It had the bathrooms already set up. It had this open gym layout, but it was the requirements they wanted us to do were kind of crazy. They wanted us to like write a biography about our autobiography about ourselves and explain what we're going to do. And
Kick rocks.
yeah. So, when on a whim just came and looked at this, it's 3 miles from my house. So it's nothing to come down here.
Yeah.
And we came in, we looked at it, and it was actually a forge. So it was a guy that did all metal work. So the place was a mess.
Yeah, I remember.
Graffiti on the wall and everything like that. And he just didn't do anything. I mean, basically they finished the building. But what it was that it was built in 1790. It was an old mill. So if you see all the stone and whatnot that's around here, that's what it was.
I remember when you guys were showing me this space, it was full of stuff. Like when you guys were opening this side.
Yeah.
I remember that because like you guys gave me a tour and you're going to need to put speakers and cameras in here. Can you do it? And I was like, well, first we need to put more lighting in here because I can't see shit.
Yeah, I think it was like one light and a fan that
and it was
didn't
like
work.
full of stuff. It was wild. And like seeing the transformation from when I came up to help move equipment the first day when you guys signed the lease to this place and then to what it is now, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, everything was mapped out, when it came to how it was going to be laid out, the equipment that we had, how many members we needed to get. And I mean, once we signed the lease, it was like
we laid out the gym in a week.
Yeah, in a week.
The gym was ready.
So what goes into planning something like that? So are you looking at square footage and how big pieces of equipment are and how much range of motion you need and stuff like that?
No, it was me walking like foot over foot. Like
he never uses a tape measure. He just uses a shoe and walks.
You have a size 12?
It's how I lay out the whole gym. Yeah, my shoe is 12 inches.
So you got a foot. There you go.
when I'm laying it out, I mean, to this day, like we just expanded into the other room. It's been the good old foot measure.
Yeah. Wow.
We were like,
you nailed it so far.
Yeah.
we were getting like U-Hauls on like Saturdays or Sundays.
Yeah.
And then he would spend the week pretty much like putting together where we're going to pick up stuff at.
Yeah, I remember.
And we would go out every week.
Tried to recruit me on some of those missions. And I was like,
this one day,
my back won't help.
We learn fast, but like we're also still dumb. And what I mean is, like we would just do things without like thinking it through sometimes. So we one time we bought this big red piece.
Yeah.
And it's 1,000 pounds on one side.
Yeah, one side's 800
on the
pounds.
other.
The other one's 1,000 pounds. It's a big cable system.
And we were like, how are we gonna get this in the truck? And the guy was like, a guy had a forklift. So we're like, all right, fine. We never thought about how we were gonna get it off the truck.
Oh, how'd you get it off the truck?
Oh, dude, I was to the point at the end of the night because we were like routinely doing this. So I wanted to like just like throw it off the back of a truck and leave it there. That would be someone else's problem. But then,
your problem now.
So then Keith was like, let's go take it back to the gym and see if we can do it. And even then, we couldn't get it off of the truck. I was trying to do like, when you like this tablecloth, right?
Tablecloth trick.
Tablecloth trick where like
you pull it,
and then like everything stays, the plates and stuff. I was thinking that would happen if we lowered the.
I think it's like a ton.
1,800 pounds.
Yeah,
tablecloth trick.
If we lowered it down and then like, because it had a lift gate.
Okay.
So if we put the piece on the lift gate and dropped it, but we couldn't get it off of the lift gate from the truck.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm going to drive.
You didn't
as
have the
fast
loading
as I
bay
can.
then, right? You didn't have this
we didn't
loading
have
bay.
anything.
No, we had the garage bay door, which I mean, just
If you had this loading bay, it'd probably have been easier.
Yeah, we stole some guy's like hand truck.
Can you say that on the podcast?
Well, we gave it back.
Oh, okay.
And the whole gently borrowed it.
And you have your own now, right? Your own little like.
yeah. So the pallet jack was definitely a smart investment.
After that,
we had to learn like 3 or 4 times that like, hey man, we need a pallet jack.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with Big Red, that cable system, we got it on the truck with the forklift, and then we proceeded to drive to another location and pick up more equipment. So this truck's full, and we're driving back. It's now probably 9 o'clock at night, and we get to the storage unit, and we get all the pieces that we went and picked up after Big Red in the storage unit. And then we were like, Big Red's too tall.
Yeah.
So we came back to this
location. It
location.
wouldn't fit in the storage unit.
It wouldn't fit in the storage unit. So we were like,
You can curse. It's
Fuck,
fine.
Yeah. And so we drove over to the location, and we just called the landlord before we were even moved in. We were like, hey, we're going to leave this thing in the parking lot. And in case you see it, that's what it is.
In case you see this big red contraption, don't worry. It's not going to hurt anybody.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
It was absolutely terrible.
All right. So we got the location. We moved in.
Yeah.
When did you say to you guys selves, you're like, I need to expand and open this room?
Oh,
How long did that take?
That was when
as soon as he opened the door.
Yeah. So we got rolling, and I mean, at that point we were 5,500 square feet.
Yeah.
And just started getting busy.
Yeah, because I remember like the first year I did a Halloween party. Was it the first year I did a Halloween party here? The Halloween lift. I did
the first or second.
Yeah, because I remember you like.
I don't think. I think it was in the within the first year.
Yeah.
But I don't. And
I just remember how crowded it would be, and you guys just opened. I'm like,
I don't think we would have survived unless we expanded.
Okay.
I think we would have gotten too big for the small space, and then people would have been like, "Man, I can't be around."
Yeah, it's not enough room.
But the catalyst for that was there was a very predominant gym that closed, and they gave us first whack at picking out some of the equipment that we wanted, if we wanted it. So we went up there, very incognito, like we were like taking pictures with like on the side of our leg, like because the gym was still open.
We could say the gym.
Yeah, so I mean it was Warhouse Gym.
It was the Warhouse.
Oh, that was out in Allentown, right?
Yeah.
Out in Reading. So that was
Reading.
Dana and Rob Bailey's gym.
Yeah.
And, I had an ex-girlfriend that was roommates with Dana in college. And we just always kind of stayed in touch. Not a lot, but like they sent somebody down here and they were like, hey, we have a gym that's closing and we want to know if you want the equipment. And then we found out who it was.
And you're like, that's probably good equipment. So
yeah. So we went up there and we picked the stuff out, and that was kind of the catalyst. So we were like, hey, where are we going to put this stuff? Like, so
do you guys still have a storage unit?
Yeah, he has a buying problem.
Someone take his debit card away.
This gym will never be lacking equipment. That's for sure.
You gotta, when you look around, just the unique pieces that you guys have, it's like you're buying the right shit. You're not just buying to buy. You're
not even like buying things that are already made. Like we're at the point now where
you're getting custom pieces made.
Like so, we linked up with a fabricator. The guy was based in Atlanta.
Yeah. So the big initial brunt was a fabricator down in Georgia.
Is it the state of the arc, or is that
state of the arc? He's actually up in almost near Canada.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was the second fabricator that we met up with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to jump ahead. I thought maybe I knew something, but go ahead.
So
first fabricator in Georgia.
The initial brunt was from that guy, and he was nice enough to basically, we did the order, the first initial purchase. And he was like, I'll store this as long as I need to store it until you guys are ready. So we had storage basically taken care of for us, which was great because it would have cost us thousands to keep that stuff stored for the amount of time it took for us to, open the gym.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
So now we have a guy that's local.
Yeah.
And this way we use him so that Keith met up with him. And then this way, Keith can go over to the spot while he's making it and be like, all right, this doesn't fit, or this isn't
gotta feel right.
You have an advantage probably to making equipment, because with the sports science and stuff, and now training people, especially like someone with John's, I have lower back problems too. You can probably develop something.
Yeah.
Where someone that needs help with their lower back, like you could probably develop a piece of equipment for that. You could probably
already like toying around with stuff, and even like Keith is the one that started, but he was like, we can make suggestions on current pieces, like change it to the specs that we want, or offer new things or different things that we want, like our standing chest press.
That is amazing. I love that thing.
Yeah.
That's great. Like I never thought about doing chest press standing up.
Well, you think about standing chest press, a lot of the ones that are on the market, you're limited to, a certain height, where with ours, there's, I can't even remember how many options there are for height, because we have
like
clients
48.
Like 48 options or whatever. But you have people that are 4'10", and we have people that are 6'6", so that come in here and train, and not all of them are going to be able to fit on the same piece. So having that adjustability was something that I felt like was crucial to, having a good piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky to link up with the fabricators that are willing to do what we want them to do.
Are they also in the training too?
The one guy is into training. He's a powerlifter. That's the one, the state of the arc up in almost near Canada. And then the local guy, he just
likes building shit.
It's awesome. He's like, I got a notebook
He's the kind of guy
He's a
that
beer,
has,
and I go in the shed and I figure it out.
yeah, he's the kind of guy that he's like, well, it's beer o'clock, you know, like
okay.
he shuts it
Beer
down and
30.
starts drinking beer. So, yeah. But he's very willing, and like his mindset is if it's metal, he can make it. So
I love that.
yeah,
It's not a lot of that anymore.
No.
I used to watch this show. It's on Netflix now. The rerun's called Forged in Fire.
yeah,
What you can make,
Awesome.
It's amazing. And like
it's
what
awesome to
people can
watch.
make.
Like those guys don't get enough credit.
No,
They really don't. Like the tradesmen, they don't. It's just
mixing metals.
so
It's like a
good at what
forgotten
they
art.
do. Yeah, you know,
Really.
I mean, I've watched this guy heat up cold rolled steel and bend it to the handle that I want it to be. Like he's not.
Wow.
There's no machine doing it. It's literally him heating it up and then like wrenching on it.
How big is his shop?
A garage.
Oh wow, he has his own forge in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also cool to be linking up with someone that's like another small business owner.
Yeah.
You know, so like
So what does he normally make?
metal,
Oh, well, so
What?
metal.
No
his-
shit.
so before the background on him, and that's Strength Beyond Strength Ironworks. He worked on the pipeline. So
Oh, okay.
all he did was weld pipe and then handle inspections for that, just making sure that everything's safe and whatever he does for inspections.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just couldn't do it anymore. And, he's just traveling, and he really felt like everything's getting more expensive. So like paying for an Airbnb when you're on the pipeline, you're only making so much money. And before he was making a ton, but now
Yeah.
it's like everything's more expensive. So it's not really making sense. So he wants to get into something different.
You're like, I got something for you.
Well, he started off fixing equipment. Like he
Yeah.
would come in and I'd be like, can you do this? And he'd be like, yeah, like I can do. And then he started off in suggestions. I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah, I think I remember this guy. He would come in and
I don't think you ever met him.
No, I think I might have seen him like coming in and like you were showing him what you needed to
Yeah.
get welded and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All
I
right.
remember.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
I might have been here like fixing something. But so this was year 2. You opened this spot, this side.
Yeah.
So for people watching on YouTube, this is the second part of the Alpha Phlyte Fitness gym. So you opened this year 2.
Year 2.
So that is what year?
Well, we opened in 2020, so I'd say 2021.
Yeah. The
Okay.
tail end of 2021. It might have been 2022 because the township was tough with us. Like, it wasn't even really tough. I just don't think they understand like gym. Like,
Yeah.
The gym
I
itself.
remember you guys were getting some pushback.
We opened in like October 2020. So when he says 2022, it's like our second year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then now for the third year, you're going to have going into the fourth year. Now you have that little butt stuff room.
Yeah.
The
So
glute building
the
room.
where all the glute stuff and there's some really unique pieces in there too.
I remember because I just put the speakers and camera in that side, and I was like, I've never seen some of that kind of the glute building machines you guys have in there.
Yeah, a lot of that just comes from the traveling that I did, when I was with, nutrition distribution and just working for the supplement brand and
Yeah.
seeing what was working at gyms and seeing what pieces had, or what gyms had, like as far as pieces go, and what was awesome, like just from when I worked out on it, and just taking mental notes,
Right.
remembering stuff. It's just
Now, when you're looking for a piece of equipment, is your training background coming into play too? You're like, oh man, I have these clients that suffer from this. They might benefit from a machine like this.
everything's very specific. So I want every muscle group being able to be targeted, fully.
Yeah.
You can go into gyms that have just a seated hamstring curl, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like
We
for
had
us,
18 of them.
yeah. So we have the seated hamstring curl. We got a kneeling hamstring curl. We got a lying hamstring curl. We got like 4 standing
I
hamstring.
was gonna say I like the standing one.
Yeah, and like that's
There's
like
no pressure on my back when
that's
I
a
do it.
piece that like you would just think that every gym would have, and they don't. And it's
Yeah. When you look at them, you can tell they've been used. Like they're older machines, and I think that's what happens probably in these industries. These newer gyms just buy new and they think it's good.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, like, people get into gym ownership for the wrong reasons. I think they look at it like they're going to make a ton of money,
Yeah.
and not necessarily for the sake of improving the fitness industry itself. So like they'll get suckered into some sales rep that's like, here's your package.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
It's like a generic package of equipment, and these guys that own the gym are like, okay, cool, and they'll take some big finance payment or some loan on it, and we're just not like that. Since
Yeah.
we're a small business, we can buy whatever we want.
Yeah.
Quality
for
is
sure.
everything too, right? So we went to a different place and looked at equipment that was being offered it like a much lower rate to be made for us. We tried it out, and it just wasn't.
Nothing felt right.
Yeah, like things didn't align correctly. So instead of like, we passed on it because we want to make money from a gym. Don't get it misunderstood, but
Yeah.
we also have quality that we consider. So like, same thing with our supplements. Like Keith is real big with getting like trademarked equivalent in there. Like we're not using just generic stuff. We make a little bit less on our end, but the integrity's there.
Right. And you can't cut corners when you want quality.
Yeah.
So you guys are 3.5 years in now. Where did Alpha Phlyte come from?
Oh, dude,
I know we're
thank
40,
you for asking
we're,
this. I
we're,
love
we're
that.
40 we're 40 minutes in, and I think, with the cult following you guys have, I'm pretty sure everybody's still listening 40 minutes in. Don't forget this episode is fueled by Rainstorm. I forgot to say that in the beginning. They're a new partner here at the podcast. Where did Alpha Phlyte come from?
So
here we go, geeking out. Here we go.
I'm a very big comic book enthusiast.
Well, let's start at. I was always like undecided on like what the name should be.
Okay.
Okay, so like I would come up with maybe like sort of cool names, but they were never.
What was
like,
one of them? Let's see how cool they were.
It was like going off of something like let's say J.K. Ironhouse or something like that, or just
Okay.
like our initials or something like that. Like, but it was never.
Actually, don't mind that. J.K.
Shut up.
Ironhouse. I mean, it's not terrible.
It was it was always like good, but it wasn't great.
Right.
But then John came up with
Alpha Phlyte.
Yeah. So.
And people call it Fleet for a while.
Yeah.
Listen, ain't changing the name. We're just going to teach everyone how to pronounce it by getting big.
Right. It's like, I guess it would be like sometimes people, mispronounce John. But they say John.
Yeah,
But
sure.
so again, what does Alpha Phlyte mean? Like, where did it
So-
come from?
So Alpha Phlyte is a very popular Marvel super team. They're like the Canadian equivalent of X-Men.
Okay.
Threw the PH in there because
Philly.
we're close to Philly, but
so the supplement line started in the LLC and whatnot was Philadelphia,
originally in Philadelphia.
which is why the PHL is in flight.
Ah.
So then the next product, our first product, was the Omega Sanction.
Yeah.
Dark Side. Not enough people watch the DC movies, but Dark Side is the main villain.
Right.
His I-beams are called the Omega Sanction.
Ah.
And then Project Catalyst.
For people that didn't know, John is humongous.
Yeah, just humor me for
nerd.
a second. Yeah, so
By
literally and
humongous.
figuratively. But Project Catalyst is Superman has it. There's an underground lab in Metropolis called Project Cadmist.
Ah, okay.
So that, and then that was like a secret. We're not going to talk about why it was, but then Super Soldier formula is their test booster, and
Which I've used for years.
Yeah.
It's a perfect product.
but we already had
Thank you,
the
Keith.
supplement line, and then we were doing business together. So
Yeah.
I said let's just create like a whole umbrella brand.
And that's where. So this is all under one umbrella.
It's easier to promote that way. It's easier to look at things. Just everything is one Alpha Phlyte.
Wow. So to be honest, you're the only brand that has that. I would assume. Gymshark, I guess, has like their gyms.
No, there's companies like us, like I guess Redcon has a gym and a supplement brand.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, we're the first in like the Northeast, I would say for sure. to do
That's
something like
something to be happy about, like thrilled about. To be
Yeah.
honest, like how many small businesses start making supplements and now they have a gym and a supplement line.
Yeah.
That's
And then-
pretty
and then
incredible. And a
start-
clothing line.
Clothing, yeah.
Well, the clothing is like we want
It's got to be better.
to start pressing on that and then really improving that.
What do you mean?
The quality of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want us to be like a triple threat.
Okay.
So like killing it at the gym, killing it with apparel, killing it with supplements.
And I would say you guys are pretty on brand, like with the times. When I say that, because like when I introduced you to Comfort Color shirts, because they were in heavy duty cotton, little oversized, like they were in. You guys ran with it, and looks like you guys can't keep them on the shelf. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
you're keeping up with the times,
The stuff, a lot of times you have to understand, you have to listen to people that know more than you.
right?
So me and Keith, we're not fashion connoisseurs.
Yes, Mr. Black Shoes.
We just kind of like we know what we like to wear and what fits well. And like, you know, we're guys that came from, you know, bodybuilding. So like we want the shirts that fit tight across the top and like loose at the bottom. And like, you know, at one point, I mean, I was wearing torn sweatpants and shit. So like, I'm not going to be going down any runway, you know, anytime soon.
Okay.
So like us being like,
my favorite shirt's the Ninja Turtle shirt. That's my favorite. So shout out to Anthony from Studio 27. I got to get him on. So this is why I'm glad that we're going into that now, me bringing him up, because he developed the labels for all of your supplements, correct? So he
developed our logo.
Yeah. So he's very talented at what he does. So shout out to him because he's helped you create these like comic book-esque T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like the Ninja Turtles one. You had that like...
we did a Superman one.
Right. Yeah. Of course you did. People don't know. John has a big Superman tattoo. A couple of them.
The greatest hero. The hero that all their heroes are derived from.
Yeah. So where do you want to go with the apparel?
So I want to go into more like a premium line.
Okay.
So I want to do
like leggings for girls.
Dude, that's so hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's harder than you think.
Girls are very, very specific about what they want, the quality they want. From research that we gathered, it's like transparent. So like if you're doing a squat, girls obviously don't want their business out there.
There's certain like plies that you can get in leggings. So you don't want like a single ply because that's going to be like see-through. You want like a triple ply legging, but at the same time you want it to be comfortable and like breathable and not like suffocating their legs and like you don't want it to look like snow pants.
So you're just going to provide the pump covers.
Well, I think we can move into anything. I think trying our best to stay on trend by like listening. Like for example, we hired a guy, Wyatt. He's our first ever full-time employee, which is like that's a big milestone, I think. And he's a younger guy, so like listening to like younger people's influence and like what is actually selling today or what people like today, and us having to be kind of like, you know what, we're gonna listen because we don't know fashion.
You don't know everything. Yeah.
Well, like there's a good, let's do like a basic gym line and then let's move into like stuff that people are going to want to wear if you're a guy that is fit, but you're going out on a Saturday night or something.
Oh, okay. You know? So then you can have a little A on the shirt.
I would love that to be like the end game of that.
Like a lifestyle brand.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. So then you would have like all the compasses of a someone that works out. You would have their supplements, their gym wear, their gym, and their outerwear, like when they go out.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not anywhere close to being done. You know, we want multiple locations for, you know, the gym.
Yeah.
And we want the lifestyle brand to be, you know, being worn all over the country, and we want the supplements being sold across the country as well. I mean, across the world.
You guys are like, I know when you guys had what was that one? Was that Sniper?
Oh yeah.
That was a big seller.
That one got banned real quick.
We had to sit that bad boy down.
Yeah.
I think we were probably a year ahead of the trend on that.
Yeah. Okay. So like you guys are selling pre-workout across the country though, right?
So we just have to give it more gas to like really get that thing rolling.
Yeah. I remember you said you're now in this state or something like that.
So Keith has, because of his previous job, he has a lot of like accounts and like connections that he can put us, or at least open the door to getting into a place.
Right.
There's no guarantee that we're going to get in because it's a very competitive market, just like anything. But
it comes down to margins. But yeah, I mean, my previous employee was, you know, I was having WhatsApp calls with guys in Australia, you know.
Wow. How you doing, mate?
Product. Yeah. So like that, I mean, Poland, India, Spain, like all these guys were buying the previous brand for me. So
holy crap.
Yeah. So it was really cool. You were formulating product and then you were selling it across the world because people wanted it.
But there's how does that even happen? Like, how did they even find you? That's wild. The internet, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question,
you know, and we had a sponsored athlete, and obviously that was the big catalyst too. You know, when he did well in contests, you know, it was like,
I want to
take this, you know, and like he's talking about the product, even though he really wasn't, you know, it was just kind of like, you know,
I want to take that. I want to look like that guy.
Right. So
I wear the same clothes as John because I want to look like John.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what I got you for your birthday.
Yeah, John actually got me this sweatshirt for my birthday.
But you stay in touch with these guys, and you know, when you build that relationship, you know, you put a product out, those store owners, like they're small businesses too, they'll give you a shot. It's just it's got to be good.
So talking on small businesses, now you guys are partnered with Philly Gaines now as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you being the guy, the face of Philly Gaines, like being in the store every day.
Yeah.
What is your kind of thing? So if someone approached you with a sanction, right? Are you looking at the label saying, all right, this looks like something my customers would buy?
I give it to you to try.
Yeah.
You tell me.
I'm the test dummy.
I get to the point now that
I want to say that out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I get to the point now because I've been doing it for a while. I can kind of look at a label. I can kind of gauge where the brand is, who the brand is, and stuff like that. So
so you guys are kind of like a dynamic duo in that.
We do have an edge with that because when it comes to the formulation aspect, like I know what's legit and what's not. And
so John could tell you, like, hey, I have clients that
I have a question. I'll ask him.
Yeah.
But we have different strengths.
Yeah.
So that's why we work well together.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Wow. It's just like, I'm just trying to think when you said I was a test dummy. Like,
but there's some times too, like John will get a sample bottle and he'll be like, what do you think of this? And I'm just like,
nope.
I like because it drives him wild.
Yeah.
I love his response.
Yeah, he's like,
this ingredient's banned.
I know that. Yeah, I know there's something in there that like it's.
John will give me a thing.
He'll
He's
be like, "There's no way. There's no way."
I'm kind of off stim. I haven't this is like the highest stim stuff I take anymore. It's just an energy drink. But when I was a gym like junkie, like he would just give me, tell me how strong this is, and then I would give him a breakdown of like, all right, I took it at 11:01. 11.
Text me, 11:02, feeling sweaty.
Yeah,
11:03.
The supplement industry is hard because it's very not balanced. Where guys lead with the high stim pre's. That's the way that brands get in the door with these stores. And
they identify like the best pre is the strongest pre, and that's not necessarily the case.
And I don't like stim anymore, really.
But when it comes to health, that's what the supplement industry should be. You need to make sure like all your, dots are dotted, like your multivitamins in place. You're taking a good probiotic. Your digestion's on point before, and like you start going down this list. The very last thing you should be worrying about is the amount of energy kick you're getting before you go train. Because if you have all those things lined up, you're gonna feel pretty good energy wise. So it's just backwards. And when it comes to our approach with creating the supplements, like, we're selling pre-workout, but we also are recommending other things, multivitamin, probiotics.
Sleep aid is the best sleep aid.
Oh, yeah.
Dream sequence.
I only can take a half a dose of that sucker.
I think we'll put a rhino down, and then you wake up, you're not groggy.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I sometimes I can't. I sleep more than 8 hours. So I decided to take a half a dose. Because I came in one day. It was, I was working on the back room. And I said, good morning to Keith. Keith goes, it's 5 o'clock. What do you mean, good morning? I was like, I just got up.
What are you talking about?
He's like, I've been up for 12 hours.
My wife accidentally took 2 full servings. So she took 8 because she forgot. She was like, she took the 4 and then she took another 4. She was like, shit. I accidentally took double. And the next day, she was weird all day long because it's just it's overloaded. I was
gonna say,
melatonin and valerian.
Can you get anything happen to you?
Yeah, if you take too much valerian, you can hallucinate.
Oh, she's tripping balls.
I got a bottle at the house. I'm taking a bunch tonight. Then
has Stacy ever been high before?
Well, she
was high that day.
She has her medical marijuana card, so she has bad sciatica.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, she said it felt very similar to that.
Oh, wow.
In not a good way.
Yeah, so I guess when you were researching, actually, a better question. When you were formulating this sleep aid, what was your did you have a test subject where you were like, all right, what do you suffer from when you're going to sleep?
It was more so seeing what the market was doing.
Okay.
And how they were dosing it, and people would either create a product that just put you down, but it didn't keep you asleep, or they gave you something that took too long, so you were still having sleep issues. So the goal was to create a product that was balanced, where it put you to sleep and it kept you asleep. But I also wanted it from a performance aspect, so it would make you more responsive to stimulants and more responsive to whether it's coffee or energy drinks or pre-workout, whatever you're doing. You don't need to take as much of those harsh supplements to get the same effect.
Yeah.
So it was always a general health standpoint creating the sleep aid.
I like that because you're not just throwing stuff in a can and giving it to somebody.
So you're taking 3 scoops of pre-workout to get going. You're you take Dream Sequence. You're still staying at that one.
Exactly. Like some of the ones I'd be testing for you and be like, oh, is this good? I was like, I had to take 2 scoops to even feel anything.
Yeah. At that point you have to you have to backtrack and figure out why do I need so much of this to create that effect.
Yeah. Wow. That's just amazing that you can do that, to be honest. Like, just randomly, like, read a book at GNC one day, front to back, and then learn all this stuff.
Well, a lot of it too was, when it came to the supplements, it was creating formulas and trying it myself. And if it didn't work, I felt like shit. So,
So you tried a lot of this yourself.
Yeah, with the beta tests and stuff. So
you didn't have a me. You just tried it yourself.
Tried it myself. Well, I just wouldn't do that. It would show up and I'd be like, all right, well, down the hatch. Let's go and
let's try it.
Whether it tastes terrible.
I don't do drugs or drink, but I'll try a random.
I'll try a supplement that I just formulated.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you take for pre-workout?
I've always just gone with the Sanction. Ever since the Sanction came out, I just take that.
Yeah, I like it.
Trust it.
It's a nice entry level, I think, like pre-workout. It's got a little bit of everything.
And I've never had to do more than one scoop of it, But
can we do like a limited edition run of the green apple? Can we do that?
Well, we are.
Flavors, that's going to be John's decision because it's
I remember he used to make me test the flavor because I'm a big flavor guy.
Call it like Green Lantern.
Yeah, do something.
No,
Please.
no,
It was so. When he had the last canister of it and the Philly Gaines, I was like, please save that, and he sold it.
Yeah,
I wanted to cry.
So what happens is, and it's every like company deals with this in terms of like supplement companies is like manufacturing and like.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, again, going back to his connections, he has a guy that is like on the total up and up. Like it's FDA regulated. We can't screw. There's no screwing around.
Oh, so is it?
We were using his stuff, and then his flavor systems change. So then even if we came out with that flavor, it might not taste the same. So we're actually going to try something new. We're going to rebrand in the sense of like updating all the labels, and then we're going to bring out some new flavors. I think. Let's go with like a fruit punch and a blue raz, just for Sanction.
Okay.
I know the mango is a fan favorite, but let's try something new.
Would you want to do a poll?
No.
Okay.
So polls always end up getting skewed. I feel like.
Okay. Some people respond to polls that don't even take the product or go to the gym or something like that.
I really want green apple
because some of the best supplements that I've taken. They don't taste the best.
Yeah. So I know some brands like I don't want to say their name, but like I buy their product from Philly Gaines sometimes. They do those limited edition flavors.
Yeah.
Would you have any like aspirations of doing those kind of things?
We scale to a point where we can drop like seasonal or limited edition flavors. We'll absolutely do that.
Okay.
The focus right now is scaling up to that.
Yeah. How much scaling do you have to do till you can do something like that?
So I can look in the bank account and know that we can do it.
We can afford it. Yeah.
So just a rough estimate, if you had to guess, like say if you were just filling because you have a satellite store at Pride Fit, you have a satellite store here,
sure,
and then you have Philly Gaines. Mm-hmm. So how many units would those three locations say would you need to do a limited edition?
Well, we also have Keith has a couple wholesale.
You do
things, okay. A couple different states. To do something like that, I'd say like if we're doing something where we have like 500 of each flavor pre-workout, and we're really rocking on hitting everything, and we're like, all right, it's Christmas time. I'm not saying we're going to do this. Let's drop a candy cane flavor, do 100 units. We'll market like 1 of 100, 2 of 100.
I just want to see you in a Santa costume.
Make it unlimited. You just go to our social media, dude. I dressed up in a lot of costumes.
The thing, you have to also work off of manufacturing too. Like, any legit manufacturing facility is going to be doing like a minimum of 300 units.
Right.
So,
I was running into something like that because I was trying to get like an alcoholic beverage made that I came up with. And they told me like an astronomical number. I need to pre-sell 1 million cans.
And a lot of times too, when like those are manufacturers, like they might be on the up and up, but like you just can't work with them because you're just not at the point yet.
We got screwed by one,
a shady one.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. We did a video about it, but it was my fault.
Wait.
Yeah. Do you have a one?
I'll do this while you talk about it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I know this is how you're feeling right now. Nervous.
Let me know you're ready.
I don't have a womp.
I was looking for. I was looking for background music.
I was doing the heartbeat because you're probably nervous about talking about it.
I'm not nervous.
Okay,
you make mistakes, and that's how you learn. So we had Super Soldier formula.
Yeah,
that thing was rocking, the original formula.
Yeah, I used to take it. I used to love it.
We were doing so well with it. I just didn't want the formula to change, but our guy was like,
"This is
use that anymore."
Like every. There was 4 ingredients in it. 3 of them were banned.
Oh my God.
3 of them got banned. The FDA always keeps you on your toes. They challenge you.
Yeah, they're going to put things in classes.
So when you remade it, how did you remake it then?
Well, I wanted to keep the formula, so I tried to find another manufacturer.
Okay, so this is where the womp womp comes
Yeah,
So
and then
John found them.
Facebook Marketplace?
yeah, no, dude, I should have looked on there.
Marketplace.
Jesus, this was actually like Instagram.
I can stir your supplements.
So I found him, and to Keith's credit, he was like, "We're not selling anything until it gets tested." So, we got it. We got the shipment came in.
I remember this.
We did a small like allotment of it, and then we sent it out to get tested, and it came back that nothing was in there.
So
Look at
first
placebo.
red flag, they let us do a small run, it had to have been, I think it was like 150 units or something like that.
Yeah,
So that's a red flag
right away.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
So when they tested it, didn't come back. I like messaged the guy, and he was just playing like stupid.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So we sent it out to analytics. Just again from my experience, just that's what we always did was you take a unit from each run of product that you're getting. That's what the FDA wants you to do, and send it out for identity testing. So the manufacturer can tell you, oh yeah, this is it. Here's the certificate of analysis that it's 100% real. But you always want to send it out and to your own analytic company and just make sure that it tests out for identity. And we spent the money to get all the ingredients tested, which it's not cheap. Some ingredients they can be anywhere from $200 to $500 just an ingredient to test for identity. Because sometimes they have to make the test for it to like.
It was over $1,000 a test.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And turned out there was like nothing. Like
wow, nothing in it.
There was
nothing.
Like a placebo.
Like
1%.
rice flour. That was it.
Yeah. So we didn't sell
Holy
it.
shit.
So we just ate it.
So
Didn't sell a unit.
how did you reformulate it then to combat the legal products?
Well, I think you get to the point where
You had to open that encyclopedia of ingredients.
well, yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you can, and manufacturers are helpful too if they know ingredients. I mean, they can help you with that, but you have to get to the point where you're like, hey, I'm not going to compete with synthetic drugs.
Yeah.
Like this is a supplement industry. Like I can't. You can make something very effective and dosed right, and that's going to be your customer base, the people that want that. But again, the supplement industry is kind of backwards, where people don't care. They just want something that's going to get them big, fast.
Yeah.
They don't care really what's in it. So you have to kind of be realistic and just realize you're not going to compete with the synthetic stuff, but you can make a really good product. And that was the goal, was to make something that was dosed right, that you're still going to get the effect. You might not get the effect of a drug, but you're going to get a good bounce back.
Yeah,
as far
because
as
I remember
testosterone goes.
the original Super Soldier. I had great results off that.
I'm sure you did.
It was
Yeah,
great.
That's why it was banned.
Yeah. Damn
I
it.
wanted to keep it.
It was borderline illegal. That's why it works so well. So we're about an hour and 2 in. This is usually around the time where I ask I've been asking small businesses, where do you see I should just say the Alpha Phlyte umbrella in 5 years?
You can go first. Want me to go first?
You can go first.
Actually, you can do the let him do the gym side, and then you do the.
We're a brand. What's the matter?
Well, I just feel like because he's the savant of equipment.
No, I'm going to argue this point.
Okay, go ahead.
Of like scaling, like scaling and like creativity and like all that kind of stuff, like building businesses is like what I really like to do.
Okay.
I have a passion for doing that.
Yeah, you definitely. I learned that from the Charles Knowles episode.
Like, I love talking business.
Have you met Charles?
Yeah.
From Vision.
Yep.
He's solid, dude. I'm still texting with him actually.
Episode 1, season 2.
Yeah. So go ahead. Where do you guys see Alpha Phlyte, the umbrella, in 5 years? Now that I know it's an umbrella.
So from a gym perspective, I would love to have in 5 years.
5 years.
I would think 3 to 4 gyms.
Of this size?
10 to 15,000 square
You
feet.
can only go up. You can't, like, where it's at right now, it has to be
We
What's
can't
your
put a
square
small
footage
gym
now?
out there.
What's your square footage?
11,000.
Keith would say 11,000. I would say almost 15,000.
Well, is that including, what is it 11,000 wall to wall, or is that, because I know you have, are you counting the posing room?
Yeah, I mean, every square foot of this place gets used. So
Okay.
11,000 square.
11,000.
Almost 15,000.
Why do you say 15,000? You count in the parking lot?
Lots.
Yeah, you count in the parking
We
lot.
have I mean,
We're paying for it. We're renting it. I'm claiming it.
got like 75 parking spaces.
Yeah. So that was that a struggle before we go into the 5? Was that a struggle for you guys in the beginning as you're?
I think it was a concern, but I don't think it was anything. We were kind of like informed that, especially when we opened this new space.
Yeah.
Because when we were just rocking the one spot, we were just like a COVID gym and we weren't really promoting.
Yeah.
We have more parking afforded to us as we're growing. So
Okay.
parking sometimes, and listen, from a business owner perspective, it's like, hey, we love the idea that there's like not enough parking because it means we're doing something right,
Doing
that people
something
are
right.
coming here.
Right.
So like, we're not, we're saying that's a good thing to look at from our vantage point, but we're still going to address the situation as we evolve.
Okay. So in 5 years, you want to say what? 3 to 4 gyms?
I want to say we have 3 to 4 gyms.
Okay.
I want to say we have a brand that's, we have a full-size Philly Gaines, 1,000 square feet roughly inside each store, inside each gym.
I already love that because I'm going to touch on that when you're done.
I want to do according to like locations or geographic areas. I want to link up with business owners in the area and see if they want to like be housed in our gym. For example, we might have a barber. I just like the idea of being like a guy in his 20s. You're going out on Saturday night, you got to get your pump, and then you got to get your hair cut. And
That's actually pretty solid.
You're just grabbing your subs too. And
I'm doing a barber series once I'm done with the small businesses, and I have an idea that a barber's already doing it. He's interviewing people as he's cutting their hair, but I'm gonna interview people as they're cutting my hair. So it's kind of the same thing but reversed.
Dude, if someone did that, then I wouldn't be able to have a podcast.
Yeah. That's what.
This is 5 minutes of doing my beard.
Yeah.
I ask you a lot of questions.
All right, it's done. My barber takes a little over an hour to cut my hair. So he's doing the beard. He's cutting the beard down. So that you can get a good conversation in an hour. I'm actually having my barber on, but we're talking about how he built his barber shop. He's not going to cut my hair, but
I start to doze off when I'm getting my hair cut.
yeah,
I used to.
Yeah, like it just feels good.
Yeah. So when he puts he does a hot towel on my face before he shaves, and it's like I could fall asleep. It has like a chamomile or some shit. Like some kind of scent that some people put in saunas. I forget.
It's what the massage thing.
But I'm like deathly scared to like nod off and like get cut. So like
wake up your
so like I'm just holding it together
Yeah.
as long as I can. But normally like when I get my hair cut, it's like every other Friday. So Fridays I'm toast. Like I'm just so tired by the week's end. It's like just try to hold it together.
Yeah. So 3 to 4 gyms.
Yeah.
Barbershop in the gym. Philly Gaines in the gym.
Philly Gaines in all of them. And I make it's not a perfect combination,
Right.
But see how this is like a red and black aesthetic, and like Philly Gaines is a green and black. So my idea is, see how we have the posing room. You guys can look it up. We actually have a virtual walkthrough on our website, alphaflytefitness.com. We have
nice plug. Great plug.
we have a partitioned wall with our posing room, so it doesn't totally cut off the space from the rest of the gym. I have this idea in my mind where it's like in the Wizard of Oz when they started off black and white, and then they walk into the thing or the yellow brick road and it's all colored. Like you're just walking, transitioning. You're not like dividing it off, but it's a completely different vibe when you're entering into
getting
the
into
gains
your
from
feeling
the
the business has changed. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like that. It's like you're walking through time.
You're like keeping the brands distinct, and I think that the important thing with like a supplement store inside a gym is, and this is just from my experience, it's not saying it can't work, but it's hard because you're putting a hat on a hat. You're asking like someone to like walk through a business to get into another business. So my thing is like we need to have its own entry point, but also be open to the gym as well, because you need to promote it and treat it like it's its own business. And then that way each business feeds one another too. So you're like, if you didn't know that our gym is here, but you know Philly Gaines, you're going to find out about the gym because you're going to go to that Philly Gaines, and that's where the gym is too. So, and vice versa. So I like the idea of these two just like feeding each other very well. And then not to mention our supplement brand, I would love to have, Keith is better with the wholesale end, but he said he would like, I think 10 solid accounts.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to get to not every store that you work with is a good account.
Right.
So if you can develop really good relationships with 10 to 20 stores that just really believe in your brand, and believe in the formulation of it, and they want to sell it, I'd be happy with that.
Is there a place to have they only sell exclusively certain brands?
A lot of stores
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why are you laughing?
I just from
Is that a stupid
owning this.
question?
No, it's not a stupid question. It's just life.
Talking about
life
exclusivity.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like I've run into my experience in owning a business in an area that is a very real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's like they'll carry a brand, but they're like, I'll carry your brand, but
You have to sell 4K a week or something.
Yeah, so it's like
can't.
Pepsi and Coke.
nobody else can carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sell the.
So, did you know this about McDonald's? They have a diet, like their Diet Coke, everyone thinks tastes like crack, and there's a reason why.
They put crack in there?
No, I wish they did. But they get their syrup delivered to them in like stainless steel containers, and they have a patent with Coca-Cola that they're the only ones allowed to have that. There's like a trademark agreement. They can only have the syrup delivered in those containers. So everyone else gets like plastic bags in a box.
Yeah.
Dude, that's interesting, but how did you find that?
I found it on like TikTok.
Were you Googling?
Someone sent it to me because
social media is listening to you. So you're talking
Yeah.
about Diet Cokes and McDonald's?
Yeah,
I
always post about it. Yeah. So boom, my algorithm found me, and I traced it back. It's a real thing. I was like, so they have an exclusive thing with Coca-Cola.
I can see your Google history is like
Yeah.
Diet Coke and McDonald's.
Yeah.
How does he do it?
I use a private browser. So John just gave his 5-year plan with the umbrella. Are you guys aligned with that?
Yeah, I think the image, the vision is very like we align together really well.
Right.
I think everybody's shopping online now, so the fact that we're having Philly gains in every gym location, it's convenience, and it also brings back the interaction that you have with the customer. It's not
Right.
something where they're just taking it and then going online and buying it. So you can actually sell it right then and there, and you're talking to somebody.
So here's a trainer question: does it help you with your clients when you walk out into your lobby here, and you have the Philly gains part?
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
so they'll come in and they'll have questions about their nutrition program. Like, where do I get this? Where do I get that? I'm like, well, let me show you.
Right.
It's right here.
Yeah. So that's great because I was asking Joe Ferrero, Pride Fit, when I had him on. I was like, "Is this helping you with your clients?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then when Keith from Alpha Phlyte comes in and does the videos for Philly Gains and like breaks down the product, they have a question about the product. He pulls up the video and it gives them a breakdown.
That's like what we do on our social media too.
Yeah.
So when I'm not a social media guy, but I'm gonna try my best and I'm going to learn as I go. And I'm always just going to understand I'm going to grow. But I was kind of like,
your storyboards for the stuff is great though.
Because you just see the scripts I write.
Yeah.
But the whole thing for me was like on Monday we do this, Tuesday we're on this. And I want it to be like a week panned out of like almost like tutorials.
Right.
So either training tips from Keith or explaining equipment. So you can almost utilize our social media as if you see equipment in this place and you don't want to ask people, when you can always ask anyone that works here and they'll show you. You can just scroll on our social media and you can find almost every piece in the gym and how to properly use it. So
yeah, and I will say that you say you're not good at social media, but you guys get it.
Well,
There's
we knew we had to evolve from like
Right.
where we started from and then where we are now. It was an evolutionary process.
What I will say is you guys are like, especially because you have the unique pieces, like you said. Like I know if I came in here without John, if I needed to know what this machine did and Keith was busy, I could probably find that tutorial on there, this chest press with the 3 different things. So it's like, all right, well, what does this do? And there's definitely a thing on that. And then what I'll say about Alpha Phlyte Nutrition, some of the videos you guys made.
Yeah, we're stupid.
Like napalm when you guys burnt that T-Rex. Yeah. So is that all John's creativity coming out?
Not at all.
No.
It's a total collaboration.
Yeah.
On that.
Okay. Because I know you did the storyboard. So I didn't know.
There's like some videos where I would write like a whole script, and there'd be some where like Keith would write the whole script. And then like we would send it to one another, and then like if I had any like suggestions or he has any suggestions, you just take into account.
Yeah.
But it's a total collaborative effort. Like his Ken Strongbow.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty sure everybody listening that comes to this gym is Strongbow coming back.
When Strongbow comes back, he's gonna be coming back strong.
Okay.
It's like it's just got to be right.
Yeah. Because those videos are my favorite.
Yeah, and it's like to create like a character like that people like want to see. It's pretty cool. But it's got to be right.
So if you guys are still listening an hour 15 in, share the episode where you're listening from and use hashtag bring back Strongbow and make sure you tag Alpha Phlyte Fitness.
Those videos take a lot, man.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the point now where we're like,
but if you guys want to see it, make sure you use the hashtag bring back Strongbow, tag Alpha Phlyte Fitness, Philly Gains, and Talkin with Tonka. And if we get enough shares, maybe we can get Keith to do it.
Yeah,
cool. It's not a matter of like if it's gonna happen. It's just when it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we had a
one where you're in the trash can.
We have a green screen now. So Keith was like a really bad salesman, and we had a guy like green screen.
I remember. Yeah.
What else did we do? We did this one video. I wish it would always went on. It was like the
Chalk monster.
So there was like about a monster that was in the gym and
just messing shit up with chalk.
Just chalk everywhere, but like no one takes responsibility for it. So it must have been the chalk monster.
Yeah.
So I wish we would have had that video. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. That would have been funny.
But we did like a Viking thing.
I remember that one. We saw the sword. We walked past the sword back here.
Yeah.
You got to keep the weaponry.
Yeah.
That was a bodybuilding trophy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. How many weaponries do you guys have from past filmings?
Well, we have a bunch of like costumes, weapons.
We have,
is there any?
We currently have 2 battle axes and a 2-handed sword.
Yeah.
On premise.
Just in case someone gets out of line.
Some shit needs to go down.
You guys are ready to go.
Ready to roll.
But I will say your guys' social media game, it's serious, but you also have the comedic effect of some videos as well, which I think it just shows your guys' personality. You guys can be serious and then funny.
Dude. I think it has to be versatile because not everyone likes the same kind of content.
It works very well because we have a very similar sense of humor.
Yeah.
So it flows.
I remember that one Halloween I did here. You guys were dressed up as wrestlers.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Well, I mean, we're still waiting for the call from Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Well, he won't be the guy calling anymore.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to call.
It's now Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H. I'm also a wrestling nerd.
Yeah.
John's definitely more into the comic books and wrestling, but I'm still like a big fan. But yeah, we're still waiting for the call, Triple H.
Keith once time he suplexed me and he plays too rough, so he actually gave me a real suplex and I hit my head on the thing.
Oh, really?
I was kicking the shit out of the Easter Bunny.
It was the Easter Bunny, and then it was the Easter Bunny brawl, and then
it's funny. It's just like
he snapped my neck at the top of the hill.
I've had that happen. Like we were
had your neck snap.
Yeah, I was. We were filming something in college, and it was a play on Geico commercial, but it was Ninja Insurance, right? So like, well, these prices are neck breaking. The guy was just supposed to fake it, and I was supposed to go with it, and he actually cracked my neck.
Oh.
And I chased him around the courtyard. I was going to beat the shit out of him because I thought you could have killed me if you did it the right way. Obviously, I don't know what way you could get killed, but it literally cracked my whole shit. I was terrified, and now I won't let the chiropractor touch my neck.
Oh yeah, that's a scary thing. I've had that where like my whole one side like went numb.
Yeah,
it's like
if you don't know what you're doing, that's a real thing that can happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, we weren't snapping necks.
No, I'm just saying from my experience, I won't even let a professional touch my neck.
You won't let Dr. Ted touch your neck?
No, Dr. Ted, if you're listening,
I'm seeing him tomorrow.
No, ask him if he'll ever let me cock his neck. He'll be like, nope. He won't let me touch it.
He talks about me. He'll be like, you big son of a bitch.
Yeah. Every time I go in there, he's like, sorry, I have to adjust the table. Bennett was here. He had to bring in the extra large.
Doctors said they're hating me.
Yeah. He's like, his calves fit on the table, but that's not it.
Back to that. Womp, womp, womp.
I need to add that.
What are you doing? We're not hitting the box a lot tonight?
I don't have that thing.
You just do something like, oh, we won 5 gyms.
Yeah. So 5 years, 3 to 4 gyms.
Yeah.
The apparel line's growing.
Yeah.
The supplement brand is growing. Are you going to add anything to the supplement brand? Like maybe a BCA or
going back to what we were talking about, where like pre-workouts should be like number 10 on your list. I think building it out to being like a lifestyle brand. That's where I'd like to see it go. Just like really comprehensive that we could run through the whole line and you could use every product.
Like a multivitamin or something like that?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Just whole health.
Yeah. That's actually.
I would love protein.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
I'm telling you right now, the way that John likes desserts and stuff, it's like.
You make a carrot cake one,
but creating the flavor for a protein powder is going to take us 9 years.
I'm not playing around.
It's got to be like it's going to have to be so perfect.
Not carrot cake.
Yeah.
Don't call it butter cake beauty.
Oh wow!
Still under development, like 9 years later.
Yeah.
So is that in your 5-year plan?
No. Protein powder?
No,
it's just hard to
the supplement, like going maybe into other markets besides pre-workout, sleep aid.
Yeah, I think we have the next like 2 to 3 years would be scaling.
Okay.
Yeah, we
moving our social media presence. We're not giving that brand a lot of love, and it needs it because it deserves it.
Right, and
it's a full brand, it's a full line, and
yeah,
just sitting there.
Well, you guys were busy. Like this is a lot.
Yeah,
to take on, and you have, now you're both running Philly Gains as well, but you're the face of that, and I feel like you guys are both the face here, but you're the day-to-day face here. I would assume.
And when we opened the gym, I knew, like, Keith he's going to be there every day. So the person in the face you see, like, I'm on the social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But the face that you need to see more prominently, one, he's a better like public speaker than I am, but he articulates better. He just has more depth of knowledge, but also, like, you need like stability and like consistency.
Yeah.
So like if I'm going to be on like Philly Gains, you shouldn't need to be on Alpha all the time. So you need to go like, who's the guy for that brand? And then you just have to be like, Keith will be the guy for Alpha, and I'll do the Philly Gains.
Right.
And then all complements really well.
I like how you guys get the members involved here and have them in like certain videos and like.
Well, we need them if we wouldn't have a gym if we didn't have them.
Right.
So nothing but.
I think you had her name was Jillian. She was doing interviews around the gym and stuff like that.
Gillian,
sorry.
Yeah, giving it back to the community is really important. Again, we wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure they appreciate it too because it shows that you guys really care about the clientele.
Yeah, it's that. It's like we love dogs and stuff, so we've done like charity events for raising money for dogs and raising.
Can we get a cat's one maybe?
No, let me check.
Is shelter in general. I mean, any animal for me.
Is a golden retriever a cat?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, all right. Then we'll do stuff with that.
You're just getting an orange Maine Coon.
Beasts.
Hermit crab shelter, man. I don't care if it's an animal. Let's save it.
Actually, that'd be a good
you could save a cat, but I just want to keep a cat.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into your prices here, right? So what is a membership, regular membership cost here?
So if you want just the full unlimited membership, it's $50, and we don't do sign-up fees, cancellation fees, no yearly fees. You can cancel anytime you want.
So no contract.
No contract.
Love that.
And then to cancel, all you got to do is Alpha Phlyte Fitness at Gmail, and just send the email that says, I want to cancel. The reason we did that, and I always bring it up because now in the emails when people say I didn't get it, I'll be like, yeah, we even put it on the podcast we were on.
Yeah.
But the reason we did that is because when we first opened, people were like, I canceled 3 months ago. You guys are still charging me. And we knew, we can't argue that. So what we did is like, hey, we just need a paper trail just to justify when it is, and it protects both the member and us, because if we'll be wrong sometimes. Be like, oh, I'm sorry that like we didn't do that when we needed to. So it protects both of us in doing that. So I think that's our thing.
Okay. And now, Keith, what are your training rates? And I guess go over maybe Stacy's rates as well.
So the training's consistent. It's $70 for non-members, and then $60 for members, and then if you do a package of 10, it's $500.
So it's $60 a session.
$60 a session if you're a member.
Okay.
And if you're a non-member, you're just you see what we're doing on the social media and you're interested in getting trained, $70. And then if you do the full package, the 10 sessions, it's $500. So we give you a price break.
Okay.
And to be honest, I say undercharges.
Okay. What about Stacy's? The same?
Stacy's is the same. Yeah. I mean, we have another trainer. His name's Brad. He's on staff, same rate.
Okay. Wow.
Shout out to Brad. I love him.
Yeah, Brad's a good kid. Took my parking spot one day, but that's fine. I was doing working. He took my parking spot.
Going back to the memberships, we also have that transient guy.
Yeah.
We have a
$30 a month.
Yep.
And how many visits is that?
3.
3 visits. Okay. Just to make sure people.
And we have a family discount.
Okay.
So what's that, 4?
That's a family of 4, $35 a person.
Yeah.
Wow.
So instead of having to pay the full rate, you get a discount because it's a group rate.
We're getting 4 at once.
Then we have police and fire, first responder, actually. And
Those
that
guys are
is 40. And then, I'm not the regular guy.
Yeah.
And then we have a student membership, and that's also 40. And
so are you making people show ID and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you're just taking the honor system.
So if you're a first responder or you're military, obviously you could show like badge number, you could show your CAT card. Students, you got to show your student ID. But yeah, you just have to show proof of being a first responder or a student.
Okay. And Keith, because you're the trainer here and this camera's still rolling, if someone is looking at your rates and they're like, oh man, I'm a member here with $60, a little too much for me. Is there anything that you can say to those people that would kind of be like, maybe put their mind at ease that it's not a lot of money?
Be coachable, because what I'm going to teach you is something you'll have the rest of your life. So in the long run, $60 really isn't a lot. You know, you can get a lot done in 4 training sessions, you know, and it's going to last you a lifetime.
Oh, wow. That's a short, to the point answer. Great. Love that clip right there. So also, I'm getting that now. This camera is on both of you guys as well. So feel free to feed off each other. Why Alpha Phlyte Fitness? What is the why of Alpha Phlyte Fitness?
What do you mean?
Like why? Like why should people come? Like why do you think? What would your selling point be to come here?
Why not?
Oh, if you can,
I love that answer. Why not?
You can just look around at our gym now. You can see that the members here, everyone respects one another. I know we get some people will feel a little intimidating coming here, but it's just like, listen, we call the gym Alpha Phlyte. Like,
yeah,
the walls are red and black. I know it can be a little intimidating, but we're not intimidating. You look at like all the equipment's put away. You look at, we have like spray bottles. Every member's given a spray bottle. They're wiping their stuff off afterwards. You just hear the people around, like just while you're training or while you're walking around, they're all rooting each other on. Everyone's got an interest in what they want to do. And some other people are like, I just want to be left alone to train. And everyone's allowed to do whatever they want here as long as everyone's respecting one another. So this is a place of like great equipment. Everyone treats one another with respect, and it's clean. And like gyms can be cesspools for germs. We all know that. Not here.
Love that. Okay. Now, Keith, same answer?
Yeah, I mean, it's the least judgy place I've ever trained at.
Yeah, we're Planet Fitness, baby.
You know, so like, you know, people will come in and be intimidated, I think, just by the vast amount of equipment, but the equipment was purchased, the equipment was put in the gym to maximize your workout. So we're giving back to you guys just as much as you guys are giving to us. You know, we're going to keep innovating, keep making it better. You know, as the equipment industry changes, we're going to keep getting better. And, you know, it's the vast majority of the equipment. Yeah, it's intimidating at first, but, you know, there's plenty of people that are willing to teach it.
Right.
There's also like, you could see there's no rips and tears in the equipment here. When stuff's broken, it gets fixed in like a couple days. Like that's why Alpha Phlyte Fitness. If you knew, like,
there's no downtime. Like, we're not going to just, like, if you guys only knew how inexpensive it is to reupholster equipment,
you would hate your corporate
gym. Hate your gym owner, you know, because it's like, it's not expensive, and there's not a big lead time to get this stuff fixed, like whether it's equipment or if it's getting stuff reupholstered or, you know, even just keeping stuff clean. It's not that hard. And it's the least that we could do for our membership.
We're not just bodybuilding. We come from a bodybuilding background, but there's people here from like in their 70s all the way down to their teens.
Yeah.
And they're
you guys did a video with these 2 older guys. What were they called? They were like 2 older guys that go around the gyms and stuff.
Mark and Anthony.
Yeah, those guys are great. And what are they called?
No. Sorry. Shift. Mark Anthony is the one guy, and then the other guy is Joe.
Yeah, but they call themselves
the Immortals.
Yeah, and then so like that, how you guys like showcase them on a couple of your episodes, like
sure.
a couple of your clips.
I don't even think that they saw it to this day because they don't have.
Yeah, but still, like that's what I'm saying. You guys give back to your members, and I remember that, and that was probably almost a year ago that I seen that video.
Yeah, our client spotlights. We should get back into doing that.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a good question to kind of like round down the episode. Is where do you guys see your social media expansion coming up? Do you have any ideas for that to expand your social media?
Yeah, I think, we have to talk about it, figure it out, and what works best for us.
Now that you have Wyatt, the content creator here.
Sure, and he needs to be in the discussion too, but there's a couple avenues we could go down, but I think, with each gym, it deserves its own social media. I think Alpha Phlyte Nutrition should stay the way it is, just Alpha Phlyte Nutrition. Like, you're not going to move location for that guy. But it needs to grow, and we need to have like an Alpha apparel page too. So, like where we want it, I don't have any idea of like what is a great follower count. Our growth is purely organic, and
I will say that is 100% correct.
So to tell you the truth, if we have like 10,000 people, I know Wyatt was really big with like getting us 10K this year, and that's a goal that he has, and that's great. But like where we see it being fucking awesome. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and I'll say organic growth is very hard. It's very hard. It took me, I started my page for Talkin with Tonka like last year, January 17th. Last year was my first post, and I obviously followed everybody, couple like close friends and stuff like that, and then I put it on my social media. I think you shared it for me too, and I organically grown. I'm almost at 500 followers. It doesn't sound like a lot, but those followers, they share a post and then everybody sees
real
it.
People, they're not bots or anything like
right.
that.
And the organic growth is very tough. So if he gets you to 10K, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
We were doing well with social media, but we weren't great, and there was a lot of areas that we could have done better in terms of like engagement.
Yeah,
stuff like that. That like I didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Time
giving that to someone that's like, hey, we're gonna hire due to where we lack.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
First thing was like, hey, neither one of us are like social media gurus.
Right.
I can do the best I can, but I know at a certain point I'm like, I maxed out my knowledge and what I can do, and now it needs to be handed to someone that's better than me.
Yeah. I don't think I know how to post.
Explaining, dude, I've never felt younger, and I'm older than Keith.
When he just said he graduated high school in 2005?
Yeah.
I graduated 01, so I feel really old.
I was class of 2002. I'm going to be 40 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck. But
I forgot to tell you, I got to work on the 9th now.
Oh, dude, that's...
Sorry. we're gonna take him out for his birthday. I got to work now. You guys come to my spot where I'm working. So.
I'm not going to a bar.
Okay,
but,
never mind.
I
dropped it here on the podcast.
But
I can't make your birthday.
Wah, wah, wah. But I was... what was I talking about?
Oh, good. You forgot.
The social media.
you never felt younger when.
Oh, yeah. When I talked to him about it. I'm like
what's your age difference? How old are you, Keith?
37.
Oh, so not too much.
No. But, I'm 40. I like to feel younger. So I talk to him and I feel younger.
I'll be 41 in November, so I'm the oldest one in the room.
Yeah.
I think with social media, though, it's,
if you're not paying attention to it, it can get out of hand quick.
Yeah.
So I
think there's good sides to it, and there's also like really bad sides to it.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's the stuff, man. I hate that shit.
And like, there's a lot of I partner with a food influencer. His name's Chase, and he posts negative comments and like reacts to them on his Instagram, and it's hilarious. So like, but that's the bad side, right? You have the Karens of the world and stuff making stupid comments that are just
and you want to like rage.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is anyone that cares about their business is going to be like, I don't want to hear
very defensive of it.
I don't want to hear people that don't even come to this gym make
right. But there's no such thing as a bad review. If you guys reply on Yelp with a positive answer, then you guys are in the right.
And it's all about how you respond to that too, right? Like you were saying. So it like takes a second. You gotta take a breath.
That's why I just told my buddy Johnny's Pizza in Bryn Mawr. He sent me somebody he sells out pizza, right? Just like your buddy in Westchester. They sell out
shout out
pizza.
to Spear.
Yeah.
So he has the same kind of thing. He only makes so much dough. So he sold out early on a Friday night. It was like 7:30, sold out. And people negative comments on Yelp. I said, take a minute, take a breath, and just tell them, if you want pizza, you just got to order it earlier.
You gotta get here earlier, man. We're sold out.
You got to create demand.
Yeah.
So there actually because the demand word came up. Do you guys feel like do you have a capacity here with memberships? Do you guys are going to cap it ever?
Oh, we're like cowboys, man. We're gonna just figure out when that comes.
When the Wild Wild West shows up.
Yeah, like we don't have like a lot of data. We're not spreadsheet guys.
This is our first time doing a gym.
Yeah.
Right. So is there a capacity limit in here?
I mean, like 2,000.
There has to be for a fire code, so it has to be a capacity
That's
limit.
people. No, so that would be people inside the gym at any given time, as opposed to like total members. You look at like a Planet Fitness. Right. They have so many members, but their model is to be like, let's keep you out of the gym. So if all of those members were in the spot at one time,
that's what I was kind of getting at. So how does a fire code work for a gym? Like, because they can probably rate it for so many people. That's why I asked you, like, is there a cap? Because
if we're having like a huge event,
I'm
sure that like we could get shut down because it's just packed. But
we're never going to come anywhere.
We
like
have 11,000
like,
square feet,
gym.
so I think like you're talking.
We're never going to reach that limit.
So there's no cap. You're not going to have a
like if
cap.
like Sting wants to come here and
fly down from the rafters.
Yeah, like
hit it lap machine.
He's going to have like a 5,000 audience like people here. Like that'll be one thing, but we could make sure that everyone has a good time here and doesn't feel.
Yeah, I could say I worked out here and I never felt like over people are on top of me.
So once the younger people get back from school and stuff, like this place gets
busy,
like packed.
Yeah,
and it's peak hours and stuff like that. Obviously, every gym has that. There's peak hours and then there's slow hours. But we're starting to notice that like when the kids are back, man, we're rocking. Like the mirrors are fogging up. There's moisture on the ground.
Yeah.
We're gonna open the doors up.
Yeah.
In one perspective, it's like, man, we gotta like figure this out. But the other one, you're just like, let's sit back and realize that this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like
You said that to me the other day.
yeah, like we have less than 2,000, more than 1,000 members, we'll say. So like to be in like that range. And the idea is like going back to the start of the podcast where it was like, you know, I think I was doing like half. I think I was honestly, but I was standing up when he was talking to me. I was listening. I remember just standing up, and when we came up with like Alpha Phlyte, just period, it's like in the basement of his house while like we were training, and it was just now like we have a gym and we expanded twice, and we have a supplement line and
3 times.
Yeah. And you have to like sometimes like, and even me, I'm like the worst because I'm like, I don't celebrate small victories because I'm like, man, I'm going to become complacent. So I just want to keep going.
Yeah.
And then recently, thanks to therapy,
like I started
like
that
learning
too,
how to like celebrate small victories. And
yeah.
Man, you know, like it's okay to be like, yo, we fucking are killing it right now.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
Well, another really cool thing about the building itself is there's these little trestles in here. So if it ever came to the point where we need to get bigger, we can just knock through a wall and like just
we can get bigger,
just more space.
Second gym.
So it's like, you know, I mean,
here's a better way for you, Keith, to think of a second gym, somewhere to store the equipment.
That's true. But another thing that that we didn't touch on was, you know, we want to get into owning real estate, you know, and so like getting to the point where now we're just leasing anymore. Now we're just buying buildings, and you know, whether it's you want to be a landlord, being a landlord kind of scares me, but you know, I'm willing to accept the challenge. But owning real estate and then making it whatever you want, you know.
So is that part of the 5-year plan?
That would be like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be the above 5-year plan.
Yeah. So like we have no debt.
That's great.
We opened with no debt.
The business is paid for up front, and then
that not many people could say they did that.
Everything was paid for all the way down to the floor. I mean, it's we own everything in here.
We literally roll money that we're making. We're putting it back into the business. Like our members can see that. We're also saving for another location, and then like we have a savings plan made where each gym location that opens is going to have the same savings plan, and we're just going to feed into
just so smart
the process of opening more locations.
Next gym.
Being financially responsible has got to be huge in this game.
Yeah, that's Keith. Keith is good at that. I'm like more. I like to be conservative, but in different.
I get
categories.
Scared.
Yeah,
I get scared of things.
It's a very legitimate concern. When I opened my first business.
Yeah.
I was like paying everything out of pocket.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to go out of business unless. Yeah. So I was literally spending all of my money just to like and not touching anything.
Right.
You look back and you're like, man, you need to trust your brand.
Right.
And like him, my old business partner, would be like, as long as there's stuff in the store, you're fine. You just you have a problem to sell.
No, but I get what you're saying. You get scared because I think like when it comes down to financials, everybody gets scared because like
what just comes down to like I also think like your upbringing and what you've been through. You know, I mean. Both of us have been through situations where, you know, I'd been in tears because I didn't know that I could, you know, keep the lights on in my house, you know, and that's a scary thing that I never want to experience again. So, you know, you're always kind of on the defensive, you know, just making sure that everything's good and, you know, it's your baby, you know, so it's really important to you. You don't want anything to happen to it. Yeah,
no, I get it, man. That's speaking from the heart. So not only do you carry around a bat to scare people here, you also have
the battle axes.
Yeah. I saw you carrying a bat one day.
Yeah, I mean, we don't that's a regular day here at Alpha Phlyte Fitness.
Yeah.
No, we don't have kids. Like Keith has step kids, but like these businesses, I mean, I definitely look at it like instead of having a kid, these are my children. You know,
right?
Like when you first create it, and then you have to be with it a lot, and you have to.
Nurture it.
Give it the values and nurture. And then like hopefully as it gets older over time, you have to always be involved, but you can kind of step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it already knows everything that it has to do in order to survive itself.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down today and kind of help maybe the members that are listening, give you a little bit more background where Alpha Phlyte came from. Because I know I talked to the German painter and his wife. They didn't know where it came from. And they were couple of the founding members here. So I think this episode, people are going to learn a little bit more about both of your backgrounds and where you guys see this going in the next 5 years. And hopefully they want to get behind you and bring their friends, and we'll make this a big, humongous party.
Stop in and see us.
Yeah, stop in and see you guys.
AlphaFlyteFitness.com, AlphaFlyteNutrition.com.
Yeah, plug it.
_flight_
Yeah,
fitness.
Whatever
So,
that Instagram symbol is.
_ nutrition.
I don't think
Billy Gaines.
He doesn't know what an @ symbol is.
Hit him with the thing.
There
There you go.
All right, guys, this has been episode 3 of Talking with Tonka, fueled by Rainstorm here on location at Alpha Phlyte Fitness. Thank you, John and Keith, for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it. If you guys, make sure you guys follow them on Instagram. Is at Alpha Phlyte Fitness.
Alpha _flight_ fitness.
Yeah, the underscore. I forgot about the underscore. So rattle them off right now.
Forget about that.
Alpha _flight_ nutrition.
Okay.
Alpha _flight_ fitness.
Yeah.
PA Subs, that's a new guy. We'll talk about that some other time. And then Philly Gaines, Philly _Gaines.
Okay, great.
And
Keith,
John Bennett.
and John Michael Bennett.
John Michael Bennett.
And then Keith, you have an Instagram?
I do. It just doesn't get used.
Everyone follow that motherfucker.
Just follow the Instagram, but I'm never gonna respond or post anything.
He's not going to do anything, but I just want to see like who's listening.
Let's see how many followers I can get.
Actually, we're going to see who's listening, because I think around the hour 15, I said, post this episode of where you're listening to it. Tag Bring Back Strongbow and tag all of us in it.
I think it's Keith _Longenecker.
Okay.
Hashtag Bring Back Strongbow.
Yeah, Bring Back Strongbow. And then I'm your host, DJ Tonka. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been giving me. It's been great. See you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace.